Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Welcome back to Healthy Living. What nutritional benefits does oatmeal have? What nutritional benefits do you gain from eating it? Joining us once again, this time to answer some of your questions, is ExpressCare's Dr. Jitka Lom. All right, Doc. Our first viewer is asking, is an oatmeal-based soap good for treating mild eczema?
It is really good for that because the oatmeal helps hydrate the skin, it helps reduce itch, it helps moisturize, and also it seems to affect the immune system so that your body doesn't react quite as strongly to these things that the children react to. So it can help on many levels.
Okay. What about rashes and other things like that?
Pretty much any dry skin rash, oatmeal will help you. Moisturizing, using the soap, putting it in your bath, all of those things are helpful and beneficial.
Okay. Now our next viewer is asking, do I have to eat oatmeal every day to reap the benefits?
You'll get more benefits. It's certainly not harmful unless, like you said, you're allergic. So they have studied this. Scientists have studied this actually over a period of 19 years in something called the Physician's Health Study.
That's a long study.
Yeah, it's a long time. So they took many thousands of doctors. I can't remember, maybe 10,000, a lot. Okay, and they followed them for 20 years to see how's their health, what are their habits, what do they do, what do they eat, how much do they exercise, all these different factors. And they looked at so many different things, and one of them was oatmeal. And so they noted that these men that ate a bowl of oatmeal every day reduced their risk of heart and stroke by almost 20% over that time. So that's a very significant thing that's very easy and cheap to do and tasty.
All right.
Doesn't involve any pills at all.
Now, our next viewer says, I am diabetic. Is it safe to eat oatmeal on a regular basis?
It's actually really super healthy for you if you're diabetic. So the benefits for diabetes are the soluble fiber helping you absorb your sugars in your diet better and even out your blood glucose so you won't have those big tall spikes. Also, it'll help your bowels move more easily, which is a problem for some diabetic people. So very, very healthy. Just eat it with some berries, not with any sugar.
Okay, no maple syrup.
Maple syrup, not really. If you really are desperate for something sweet, again, if you don't like berries, then maybe you could just put a little bit of artificial sweetener, but try not to.
Okay. Now our next viewer is asking, can too much oatmeal be bad for you?
I think you might possibly get bloated if you really overdid it on the oatmeal, but it would be hard to do that because it's one other very nice thing about oatmeal is that it's great if you're dieting because the way oatmeal works is it kind of expands, right? And it helps your feeling of satiety. Satiety means that you feel full. So you eat oatmeal in the morning, you feel pretty good all the way through till at least lunchtime, and you'll avoid cravings and snacking in between.
Okay, so oatmeal is definitely better than rice.
Oh yeah, with rice, you'll eat rice, you get a big spike in your blood sugar and then a crash, and that happens very quickly, especially polished white rice. It will be absorbed very, very rapidly in your system, so the digestive process there is extremely fast. So we call that a glycemic index, meaning the blood sugar spikes and crashes down within probably, I think, an hour and a half at the most for white rice, maybe even faster. But for oatmeal, that is a much smoother curve, slower digestion, slower absorption, and then your blood sugar doesn't spike like that. Why is that important? Because when your blood sugar spikes, your pancreas has to suddenly pump a bunch of insulin into your system. So that's really taxing and tiring for your pancreas. It's much better to eat meals that are that don't have a high glycemic index.
Okay. Now our next viewer is asking, is it healthier to make oatmeal with water or with milk?
Both are okay depending on your personal preference, and you could alternate. Of course, the benefit of milk is that you would get a little calcium, especially into your children. It may taste a little bit better, and milk is a little sweeter. But you could also substitute soy milk. You could put rice milk or almond milk if you don't like the taste of regular cow's milk. Or if you have an allergy, and or you could just have it with water. And so, have it any way you like. Just eat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now going back to one of our other viewers' questions about how much oatmeal or too much oatmeal So
Yeah.
how much oatmeal should a person eat?
So if you have a cup every morning, like a 1 cup of oatmeal, like a small bowl, that's a great amount. That would be very reasonable.
Okay. All right, Doc, any final comments?
It's just a wonderful thing to incorporate into your healthy habits to help you in many different ways. So consider it.
Yes, and of course, oatmeal is one of those items that you can change up. I mean, you can do so much with oatmeal. You can make cookies.
Yep.
That's not that great, but
no, you can still make cookies. You could,
and-
put them into your, if like we were talking about, put it into a food processor, blend it, and you'll have oatmeal flour, and then you can use that instead of white flour.
Oh, really?
Or mix it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow,
really
it's a
nice. Makes
substitute,
things
baking substitute.
baking substitute, and it makes things kind of a little bit moister for cakes and so on too.
Okay, and then you can always add any type of fruit to it.
Yep.
So it's versatile.
Yes.
All right, Doc. So thank you so much for your
You're
expertise.
welcome. Thank you.
All right, so we'll be back to wrap up the show when Healthy Living returns.